بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته, and welcome to another episode of Quran analysis. And today's episode, inshallah, we shall be doing the Nahw and the Sarf of ayah number 6 to ayah number 10, just to break it down so that we can understand what's happening in this ayat. And hopefully that would help us to understand this ayat even better. Okay. So let's see here. Sultan, are you going to participate? Are you ready?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah, sister, I'm ready.
Hello.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay. Let's begin. So maybe before we even begin, let me point out that the ayahs that we did before. So we did the beginning. اقتربت الساعة وانشق القمر وإن يروا آية يعرضوا ويقولوا سحر مستمر وكذبوا واتبعوا أهواءهم وكل أمر مستقر ولقد جاءهم من الأنباء ما فيه مزدجر حكمة بالغة فما تغني النذر. So here you have a fa that is continuing off from that discussion.
So this will be Farabita?
Farabita comes...
Jazaya or like for Jawabu Shart, which comes? Is
but
it
there's
so?
no...
Because this is light, right? Tawalla, Amar.
Yes. But there's no shart here. So
Okay, so Istanafia? It can be Istanafia?
Yes, it can be Istinafia, or in this case, it's actually Fasiha. Because... Oops, what was typing? Fasiha, because if you knew that the hour is about to come, if you understood that the moon has split, if you understood all these signs are there, and so it's basically the Prophet is being told وَإِنْ يَرَوْا آيَةً يُعْرِضُوا وَيَقُولُوا سِحْرٌ مُسْتَمِرٌ. These guys, when they're shown an ayah, they just they turn away and they call it magic, and all these things that they did in the first. So وَكَذَّبُوا وَاتَّبَعُوا أَهْوَاءَهُم. They did this, they lied, they rejected the signs, and they followed their own desires. وَلَقَدْ جَاءَهُم مِنَ الْأَنْبَاءِ. And news came to them. What is far-reaching wisdom? And now فَمَا تُغْنِ النُّذُرُ. What will benefit them in terms of warnings? Warnings will not benefit them anymore. So as a result of that, if you understand all this, Ya Rasulullah, تَوَلَّ عَنْهُمْ. Yeah. So turn away from them, because they turned away from this message. You also turn away from them.
So Tawalla, so this is Pele Muzare Majzu Amr.
Amr, yeah.
Amr. So who is Amir is the file?
Amr?
No, it is Anta Zamir.
Anta.
Sorry, you do.
Yeah, sorry, I made the words a bit smaller so that I can fit everything. Maybe let's do this. So
Anhum is Jar Majrur. Matalik will fail. It is Matalik will fail. Tawalla.
Wait, sorry. Let me just fix what I just done. I did something and I don't know. Okay. I'm just going to increase the font a little bit.
It was for spacing, I think so, sister, which happened.
I don't know what I did. It all turned green.
It was spacing. You did the spacing between Tawalla and Anhum.
Tawalla and
Anhum? You made a space for writing. Something happened here.
I don't know what happened. We'll just go with it the way it is. I can't figure it out. Oh, fixed it. Okay.
So Anhum will be Jar Majrur, Mutalik will fail?
Yes. So we'll just say this is Muta'alliq, Muta'alliqani. Okay. So that's that. Then you have Yawma. What do you think Yawma is here?
Yawma should be a special Muzaf, sister. Muzaf?
Yeah, so of Dharf. So special Muzaf of Dharf. Yeah, of time.
So the thing following after this will be mudaf ilayh for this
Yes.
yawma.
Yeah. So this entire sentence would be the mudaf ilay of yawma fi mahalli jar.
Yawma.
And then you
Jar.
enter into the sentence. And what kind of a sentence is it?
So this will be jumla failure. This whole jumla will be jumla failure, which will be majroor because of yawma muzaf. So muzaf along with it muzaf ilayh should be mutaliq to a mahzuf fail.
No, yeah, it could be to a mahdhuf fi'l.
Okay.
That's a possibility. We'll discuss yawma in a bit. Let's figure out the nahw and then I'll explain to you what's happening there. Okay.
So zarf. So this is a muzaf. Yawma is. So yadu is muzaf. The yadu, but this is the lighter version with waw being dropped.
Yes.
Being dropped.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be yad'u like that because da'a yad'u, that's how we memorized it. But here you realize that the waw has been dropped. And we know that when the waw is dropped, it's either mansub
or majzoom.
Yeah.
Or mansub.
Exactly. Yes.
No, it is only majzoom. I think so.
Yes. Majzoom.
Zabar comes, my sister.
Yeah. So it has but there's nothing making it majzoom. When we look, we know it has to have a harf of jazm that makes it majzoom, but there's no harf of jazm here. So what's happening? Then you look at what's coming after. Ad-da'i. Okay. Remember last week we did something like this and we said, okay.
Yeah. So just to add up for the next word, we take that here. Is that in the?
Yes. So what happened is you have a sukoon here and you have a sukoon here. And when you have two sukoons coming together like that, they have to get rid of one sukoon. You cannot have, this is a grammar rule. Okay, you cannot have two sukoons coming together. So because of that, they decided lam is a strong letter. You can't get rid of lam. But waw is a weak letter. You can get rid of waw. So they got rid of waw.
Intiqal sakinain. Okay.
Yes, intiqal sakinain. Exactly. So this is what happened there. It's still mudara'. It's a normal. It's still
marfu. It is marfu.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fa'il will be ad-da'i.
Now let's look at ad-da'i also. What's happening with ad-da'i?
Da'in is the original form of da'i. Ismul fa'il of da'ayadu. So because of al, so which was there with the da'i, one, like it is da'iyun. Da'iyun is the original form. So the tanween are heavy on ya. So because of once we split and write, I think so, sister, it takes the form of da'in, which is the original form of ismul fa'il in this naqis.
Naqis, yes. Normally, like we memorize da'in, da'iyan, da'in. Okay. But when you have al on it, so when you bring al on it, the ya comes back. Or when you make it mudaf, the ya comes back. So here what happened? There's no ya, and then but we have al. So we have al, but no ya. So what's happening here? This is the case. So we expected it to be ad-da'i. Yawma yad'u ad-da'i. And sometimes, it also happens in the Quran like this. Like ad-da'i is used and not ad-da'i. So this is, grammarians have tried and mufassirin and also tajweed people, like different kinds of people have tried to explain this. Like, sometimes in the Quran, you see Rabbi. Instead of writing Rabbi with a ya, Rabbi like that, it's just written Rabbi. Sorry. Rabbi.
Zero on the last one.
Without the ya.
Yeah.
So this happens a lot in the Quran. Sometimes you get rid of the ya, it's removed, and it has several meanings, several implications of it. It could mean the closeness, like Rabbi. I am so close to Allah that I remove even the distance with the ya, Rabbi. So it could be closeness. It could indicate like this is individual based. It's not describing everyone. يَوْمَ يَدْعُ الدَّاعِ. In this case, who is being called is only the disbelievers who are being addressed here. So because it's only a specific group that is being addressed, the ya was removed. But when the ya is used, the whole of humanity is being addressed. So that's another implication. So just this year being removed, it has several implications, and we shall look at them next time when we discuss the explanations and stuff. So just know that it is not a mistake that the year has been removed. There's a lot of meaning behind that year. We expected it to be a da'i, but then that was removed. And also because there's nothing with a sukun following it. So we cannot say that it's iltiqa sakinain, because there's no sukun after it. So this is a different thing. Yad'u was a different thing, and here ad-da'i is a different thing. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's go on.
Ila is harf jar. Shayn is majroor.
Okay, let's see if there's any
Jar
questions.
majroor.
Was there anybody with a question? I thought I had something. Okay, I think there was no question. Okay, fine. So ila
harf jar, and shayn is majroor, and nukurin is again sifa for the shayn.
Yes.
So this combination is jar majroor mutalik bil fi'l yadu.
Yes. And nukur, we said it's sifa.
Sifa for shayn.
Exactly. So you can see they match in 4 properties. Shay'in, nukurin. So mawsuf sifa there. Right? Hope that's clear so far.
So this whole will be majroor for the zarf yawma. This whole
thing. Not majroor, but fi mahalli jar bil idafa.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a mudaf ilayh. So
mahlan.
Mahallan, yes.
Mahlan. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now, we go to the next part. Then you have khushan.
Khushan.
It's nasab.
Nasab. So this should be hal, sister.
This is a hal. But how do we know that it's a hal?
Hal of and then this should be hal of the file, dain.
Just let me fix something.
Oh no, this should be hal of the coming one. It can't be that. Yeah.
I don't know why it's not getting fixed. Okay, for some reason it's not getting fixed. So we'll just use that font. Okay, so this is a hal. Okay, so there's a lot of things happening in this particular ayah, from yawma yad'u da'i all the way to the end of this ayah, ayah number 8. It's almost the same sentence. In fact, it is the same sentence. So when you look at this part, in Arabic, you can have part of a sentence in one ayah and another part in the next ayah. Like you can do that. So when this whole part up to number 8 is one sentence broken into 3 ayahs. Okay? So yawma, we said yawma, this part is a dharf. And we know a dharf has to come in either jumla ismiya or jumla fi'aliyah. So we cannot connect it. Yeah, we cannot connect it to anything before. We cannot say turn away from them on the day. It doesn't make sense. Like turn away from them on the day that the caller calls, on the day of judgment. No, the Prophet ﷺ is not being told to turn away from them on the day of judgment. He's being told to turn away from them at that time. So this is something else. Yawma yad'u da'i, the day of judgment, is something else. This is a different discussion. Okay? So there has to be a jumla fi'aliyah or a jumla ismiyah somewhere. So when you look at, you go ahead, you see yakhrujuna. This is a fi'al. So this is actually where our fi'al, our jumla begins. So you see the dharf was muqaddam of this fi'al.
Muqaddam.
Yes, of this fi'al. That's one way of looking at it, but also what you said is also correct. Like you can look at this dharf as dharf to a maf'ul, to a fi'al that is mahdhuf. Like udhkur yawman, remember a day. But I am more convinced that it is the dharf of this day. Because he's talking about day of judgment. يَوْمَ يَدْعُ الدَّاعِي إِلَى شَيْءٍ نُخُرٍ. And here it's also describing the way people will come out of their graves on the day of judgment. Yeah. So this is muqaddam. The dharf is muqaddam. And then you have khushan is also the hal of yakhrujuna, and it's also muqaddam. So it's a very interesting, like, there's a lot of emphasis, there's a lot of exaggeration being done here. Emphasis because ظرف is مقدم, and also this first hal is مقدم. So the sentence was actually يخرجون من الأجداث خش عن أبصارهم كأنهم جراد منتشر مهطعين إلى الداعي يقول الكافرون هذا يوم عسر يوم يدعو الداعي إلى شيء نكر. That's how the sentence, you can look at it like that. So you see the day has been given priority, day of judgment is being stressed. And also this hal of theirs, as on that day of judgment, their eyes have been given priority. Yeah. Is that clear for everybody?
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Okay. Anybody else with a question or? Okay, great. By the way, guys, remember, I really don't like leaving anybody behind. If you feel like you're being left behind or you're not understanding something, or if you need me to repeat again, just ask me. Don't feel embarrassed or like you're going to hold us back or anything. Don't feel like that. Just, we're all here to learn. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to ask. Those are two very important things in the process of learning. Okay, great. So that's the hal.
Yeah.
Of يخرجون. And it's مقدم.
This can be hal of absaruhum also, sister. Again, if we consider this absaruhum, if we consider this jumla ismiya, where absaruhum can be mubtada, yakhrujuna can be khabar for this mubtada. Till there, is it possible?
Because no, but the eyes are not. So you also look at the meaning. Like, what would it mean? Their eyes are coming out of the graves? No, it is them.
No, they are bowing down, no, sister. Jhuki hui hongi, khushiya.
Yes.
Khushiyan is to bow down.
So
their eyes are in the state.
Right. So this whole part is a hal. This khusha an absarum, their eyes are looking down. Their eyes are cast down. It's the state of the eyes as they come out. It's not like if you say that this is the hal and this is the mubtada and then this is the khabar, so you'd be saying that the topic is the eyes. The eyes are the eyes are coming out of the graves. But it's not the eyes that are coming out of the graves. They are coming out of the graves with their eyes looking down. So this is the hal of them, not the hal of the eyes. Right? But it's the eyes that is a fa'il of.
Yeah. So they are coming out, right? The eyes are coming out in a state of as if they are bending. Yakhrujuna is no,
not the eyes are coming out. The kuffar, يوم يدعو الداعي إلى شيء نكر. Remember before we were talking about the kuffar and how they turned away and they followed their own desires and so on and so forth. So on that day, a caller will call the kuffar to something evil, something despicable, something ugly, something bad. Nukur. It's an exaggerated form. So somebody will call them to that. So it's talking about the kuffar here. And how will they be when they're coming out of their graves, the kuffar? Their eyes would be looking down. So it's describing the kuffar, how their eyes will be. I don't know if you understand it. Okay. So
because why I'm confused, sister, because absarum is rafa, right? Here, this is in rafa.
Yes.
So yakhrujuna is again rafa. So waw zamir in this is the file. So wow, in yakhrujuna, wow, which is there, it's the file within that itself, right? So we cannot have a file outside
together.
Okay, so how is this connected? Like khashan, absarum. What will this part be, sister?
Fa'il. This is the fa'il of khushan.
Acha.
Remember the ism
because this is ismul maful. Oh, I got it. So yeah.
Yes.
Ji. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
So let me explain like this. Okay, so khushan, let's look at khushan first. Khushan is mubalagha of khashi'. Khashi' is ism fa'il. Right? Khashi'. Khasha'a yakhsha'u khushu'an fahuwa khashi'un. Ism fa'il. Then you have mubalagha of it, which indicates plurality or extreme. Khushan. This is the plural version of the ism fa'il, or the mubalagha, the exaggerated form of the ism fa'il. And we said that ism fa'il can take a fa'il can take a fa'il or a maf'ul. It can act like a verb. So this is what is happening. So this.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Got it now.
Did everybody also get it?
Yeah.
I know that was a bit.
Yeah, because the next adjacent to that itself was yakhrujuna. I thought, is this more, this can be mubtada and the rest can be khabar for this? Where I thought in that, yeah. No, alhamdulillah,
when you look at it, even me when I looked at it at the beginning, I was like, what is going on? This is nasab, then absaruhum, then yakhrujuna. Is yakhrujuna another hal? You know, because I was like, okay, khush an, it's nakira. So it's a bit confusing. But you have to just look at it like there's a lot of exaggeration in this surah, by the way. We're going to see a lot of exaggeration in this surah. So this whole, somebody is saying in the chat, this whole part will be treated as hal, right? Yes. So this whole part, khusha an absaruhum, the khusha plus its fa'il, the whole thing, this would be the hal. And of course, absar will be the fa'il of khusha an. So this whole thing is hal. We're going to call it hal number 1. So this is hal number 1 of yakhrujuna. And it's muqaddam, again for emphasis and exaggeration, right? So Allah is particularly focusing on their eyes, like He's drawing our attention, like you would see how their eyes would be on the Day of Judgment. And we will discuss the implications of this next time. Like what's the importance of the eyes here? Why is Allah highlighting the eyes more than the other conditions? Because that's not the only condition that will come out of their graves. That's just one of them, and we're going to see the others. Yeah, so that is the hal of yakhrujuna. Okay. So yakhrujuna would be
yakhrujuna, kharaja yakhruju. So this is fi'l mudari. Fi'l mudari with waw zamir fa'il, which is marfu.
Exactly.
Marfu. So min al ajdasi, it is jar majrur mutaliqani bil fi'l.
Beautiful.
متعلقان بالفعل. So كأنهم أنا كأن is مشبه بالفعل which gives nasab. So this should be مفعول. كأن is حروف مشبه with whom ضمير as its ism which is mansub.
Yes, and we can call this. So when you have anna, bi anna, ka anna, what kind of a jumla is that?
In mansub, this will be naqis.
نصب جملة اسمية.
اسمية. So okay, the way we learned, maybe I might.
It's mushabba bil fail. It gives the feeling of the fail, my sister.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So I need, you know, there's a way you learned, there's a way we learned, and there's the different ways of looking at it. So I need to combine all those so that we can all be on the same page. Okay. So it is كأن بأن ليت لكن لعل. All this are mushabbaha bil fi'l, like you're calling them. We learn them as huruf nasab that make a jumla ismiya. So if you have anna and its ism, it will give you the mubtada. Ka'anna and its ism will give you the mubtada. Right? Yeah. It will make the ism nasab. Right?
Oh, in that way. Okay.
In that way. But actually, this is ka harf jar plus anna. That's another way of looking at it. You can say that this is ka harf jar, bata, kaf, lam, waw, that one. This would be the harf jar majroor. And then annahum is the ism majroor of ka. And then annahum is your mubtada, because this is ism, this is anna and it's ism together. They're going to be a mubtada. And whatever comes after it is going to be the khabar. So that's a technical way of looking at it. You can look at it like that. Or you can just look at it as ka'anna, as one thing. It doesn't make a big difference. So you can either say this is muta'alliqani because of harf jar. So another muta'alliq because of kaf. Or you can just say, okay, this is my mubtada. Okay, I don't know what in tafsir books or in grammar books. Most likely they might say this is just muta'alliq. I'm thinking that's probably what they would say, because it's harf jar plus
so if we consider as kana like huruf mushabba bil fi'l, can it be maf'ul for this fail system? No.
No.
If you consider the whole like inna, anna, kanna, laita, if you consider
but then that would be a
whole
jumla ismiya.
kannas. Okay.
So that this whole part would be a jumla ismiya now. To be mubtada khabar. You look at it as a mubtada and khabar. Yeah.
So what will that form to this yakhrujuna? If we take the whole as jumla ismiya.
It will be another hal. Remember harf of jar and its majroor can also be a hal. So it's also describing how they came out. So yakhrujuna, number one, is with their eyes cast down. Number two, كأنهم جراد منتشر, like locusts that are spread. So this is also still describing how. So it's not maf'ul bihi, it's maf'ul hal. So this whole sentence here would be the second hal. Okay. So, but I wanted us to go step by step. So this is our muta'alliq. And then inside that muta'alliq, we have annahum, which is going to be our mubtada, right?
Annahum. Mubtada. Ji. And jaradun is also and muntashirun is sifa. So these two combination will form the khabar for this mubtada.
So this is our khabar, and muntashir will be the sifa of that khabar, right?
Sifa.
Yeah. Oops.
The whole is again mutaliqani to yakhrujuna.
Yeah. What did I do there? Okay.
This is another one. So the coming also will be a hal then, sister.
Yes, so the whole sentence again is going to be a hal. So I want to just create some space here so that I can be able to write hal. So this is hal number 2 now. Okay. Is that clear for everybody? What was the effect of harf jar? It just, kaf means like, so it's more of a description. This comes in a balagha thing. So what kind of tashbih is it? I don't know if you guys have done a little bit of balagha. I haven't done much of balagha studies, but I'm aware like you have in ilm al-ma'ani, I think, or is it no, ilm al-bayan. So there's something called tashbih, basically, similes. So if I say, you are as brave as a lion. So I'm comparing you to a lion. I'm doing tashbih of you to a lion in terms of bravery. So that's kind of like what ka is called adatul tashbih, is a tool for creating likeness. This is like this. So that's kind of like what the kaf is doing here. So it's comparing them, yakhrujuna, hum, the kuffar, it's comparing them to locusts. So it's comparing them to locusts. That's what kaf does there. Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. So this whole part, كأنهم, we know that a harf jar and its majroor can also be a hal, especially for something that is proper. So the hal of them, whom, damir is proper. Yeah, that's why this part we're considering it as hal, the second hal of them. How are they coming out in this state? So it's describing how. وإياكي جزاك الله خيرا. Okay, great. I hope that is clear so far. Right.
So muhtiina. So this is ismul file. Ahta yuhtiyu. So which is majroor again.
Or mansub. Because majroor, you have to have something that makes it majroor, right?
Can't it be because of ka? No.
No. This ended here. So you had mubtada, you had khabar, it ended.
Yeah, so this can be mansub. No, for yakhrujuna.
Yes,
can be
another
maf'ul bihi.
Hal. This is another hal. Again, is this describing the people? Subhanallah, like there's a lot of, Allah is describing the state of the kuffar in so many details in this particular sentence. Yeah. So this is hal number 3.
So
basically means they rush ahead. So it's describing how they walk. They are rushing, they're hurrying, they're walking quickly, they're moving, running even. That's what it means.
So iladda'i, so jar majrur mutaliq will fill to this muhtina ismul fa'il.
Yeah, so it's going to be mutaliq to muhtina. Okay. See here.
ثاني بالحال.
Yeah,
فيقول
بالحال.
بالحال. يقول is فعل مضارع. So هو الضمير can be file, but we have an outside doer الكافرون.
Yes.
So الكافرون will be the file for this يقول فعل. With the واو الضمير.
Yes.
That is جمع.
So home. Yeah, جمع. Yeah.
home جمع. home. So this is قول. So هذا يوم عسير will be مفعول القول, which will be مفعول به to this يقول فعل. هذا is مبتدا.
Yes.
يوم is خبر, and عسير is صفة for this خبر.
Yes. So this is خبر.
خبر.
And عسر is the صفة.
Is صفة.
And this whole thing?
This whole thing is مهلا منصوب.
Yes.
Because of مفعول القول.
Yeah. Yeah.
مفعول به.
Of يقول.
Okay.
Is that clear for everybody? Any questions there? Those, I think, a little bit straightforward, not so difficult. Now, the question then becomes, what is the connection from here? Yes, Sathia, you have a question?
Yes, I want to ask that can مهطعين be اسم فاعل? Like,
yes, it is an اسم فاعل. أهطع يهطع إهطاء فهو مهطع. So مهطع مهطعان مهطعين.
okay.
مهطعين مهطعين. Yeah. فإياك. Yeah, that's an اسم فاعل. We'll look at the Sarf in a bit, inshallah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So the question I was asking, now how do we connect يقول? What is this? Is it a new sentence? What is happening here?
So this should be the fail, sister, before this yawma yadu, which was mahzuf, which we consider. So if we bring this fail there, I think so. This whole jumla, what we connected, will be for this.
Oh, that's an interesting. I haven't seen that anywhere, to be honest. And I'm going to ask my teacher about that. يقول الكافرون هذا يوم عسر يوم يدعو الداعي إلى شيء. That's an interesting connection. That's another meaning that I didn't even think about. Like that's going to bring another meaning altogether, which is fantastic, I think. But, okay. So what I came across when I was doing research on this is that they gave two options. Either this يقول الكافرون هذا يوم عسر is just a new sentence, جملة استئنافية. There's no connection with what's happening before. So the hypocrite, the kuffar would say, this is a difficult day. New sentence, no connection to the previous one. Or it could actually be the entire thing is another hal. So on that same day, when they are coming out of the graves, they will be saying this is a difficult day, this is a difficult day, as they are coming out of their graves. Yeah. So this could be hal number 4. Okay. So I'm just going to paint a picture for you guys here before we do the explanation, just so that you understand what's happening here. So we had the initial, the focus on Judgment Day began here. So the Prophet ﷺ was told, Tawalla anhum, turn away from them. And now it's like we transported from 1446 something years ago, 1440 something years ago. We went from that past all the way to the Day of Judgment. يَوْمَ يَدْعُ الدَّاعِي إِلَى شَيْءٍ نُكُرٍ. Like, I want you to imagine you're watching a movie and then, it's like the movie went from the past all the way to the future. This is kind of what happened. Okay, so the Prophet was told, turn away from them, and now we are all the way in the future on the Day of Judgment. And Allah is putting emphasis on this Day of Judgment. And He's describing this same kuffar who turned away, وَاتَّبَعُوا أَهْوَاءَهُمْ, and they followed their own desires. وَإِنْ يَرَوْا آيَةً يُعْرِضُوا, when they see a sign, they turn away. So now Allah is going to describe them in future. Oh, you're turning away right now? Let me describe how you're going to be in future. And He says the first thing, خُشَّ عَنْ أَبْصَارُهُم. And there's a lot of emphasis here. We will discuss next time. So as they come out of their graves, يَخْرُجُونَ مِنَ الْأَجْدَاثِ خش عن أبصارهم. First of all, the first thing, their eyes are looking down. كأنهم جراد منتشر, in great numbers, just like a massive locust swarm. You know, I don't know if you've seen this, but I live in a country where this happens quite a bit. So we have, and it's massive devastation. When you see the locust, you can't see anything. You just see black on the sky. Like they're just that many. So Allah is describing them like locusts. That's another description. Then another description is muhti'ina. They're actually rushing. They're rushing ila da'i. And what is the caller calling them to? It's calling them to something despicable, something so bad. And yet they're rushing towards it. They're rushing. Like if somebody was calling you to punishment, would you rush? Like imagine you're in class and a teacher, you failed something and a teacher wants to punish you. And then you rush towards the teacher like, yeah, punish me, teacher. Give me some punishment. No. Nobody does that. No. But the kuffar on the Day of Judgment, they're actually rushing towards the punishment, which is punishment on top of punishment, subhanAllah. And then the last hal is as they're going, they're actually they're torturing themselves by saying, هذا يوم عسر. This is such a difficult day. And again, asr is a mubalagha form. This is an exaggerated form. It's not asir. Asir is difficult, but asr, like even there's no time to mention the extra letter. The ya was removed. Like it's such a difficult day, asr. So there's quite a bit happening there, subhanAllah. This surah is just, I don't know if I will be able to do justice to this surah. Honestly, I am nervous when I do the explanation of this, but inshallah khair, we'll figure it out, inshallah. Anyway, so I just wanted to paint that picture for you. And now we're going back to the past. So we were at the time of the Prophet, we went to the future, and now we're going all the way back to the time of Nuh. كذبت قبلهم قوم نوح. All right.
كذبت فعل ماضي. Here Zamir is a file, but we have outside doer here. Here Zamir, which is in the form of قوم نوح, which is considered as feminine. So قبلهم is مضاف مضاف إليه, مفعول به, مفعول فيه.
Yeah, مفعول فيه ظرف.
فيه ظرف. So قوم
نوح
is the file.
Oops. This is the file. And now, how do we know that قوم نوح is the file? Why is it كذبت? Shouldn't it be like a here version of it? Like should it, the fa'il be mu'annath?
Mu'annath. Because qawm is considered as a nation is considered as feminine.
Exactly. So remember, I don't remember where we did this. Maybe plurals, the topic on plurals. We said that qawm, you can either describe qawm depending on the fi'l. If the fi'l comes before it, then you can have كذبت or كذب. So you can have the huwa version or the here version if the fi'l comes before. If the fi'l comes after, for example, if I say قوم نوح, I would say كذبوا. I won't say كذبت. I would say كذبوا or I would say كذب. So I would either say it's going to be masculine both times. But if it comes before it, it can be huwa version or here version. If it comes after it, it's hum version or huwa version. So that's just something to note. You will see
Jumla
this happening in the
sister.
Quran.
If Jumla ismiya, it will be matching the thing in four way. Okay. Failure, it can be kazaba or kazabat. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Any questions? Somebody wants to say anything? Okay. Let's move on. So that's pretty straightforward. فعل فاعل مفعول ظرف, sorry.
So fa will be it can be atf or
yes.
So it is like so, no sisters. Atf.
Yes, so this is atf. You can see this is madi. Atf to the madi, no problem there. Everything is good. So we'll say this fa is harf atf. And
كذبوا فعل ماضي هم ضمير فاعل.
Yes. ماضي هم. I'm just going to do wow because of space.
Oh, yeah. Abadna is maful bihi, muzaf muzaf ilayh, which is in mansub state.
Yes.
It's maful bihi.
كذبوه. Who did they reject? Abdana. So this is all maf'ul.
Maful bihi.
Wow
is again atf.
Yes.
So qalu is fi'l madi. Again wow zamir is the file.
I'm just going to write ataf, but you understand that this
قالوا
qalu is connected to kadhabu and kadhabu is connected to kadhabat. Okay. Then majnoon was dujr.
Majnoon is مخول القول.
Yes.
So which is mahlan mansub and it should be maful bihi for qalu.
Yes. I'm just going to write maf'ul bihi. But all that is correct. Okay. Now, what do you think about was dujr?
It should be dala. Is the jara? Yes, the jira. Usdu jira. Is the
Yes.
Usdu jira. Zajara. No? Zajar. Usdajara.
So what is it? What kind of a word is it?
It is maful. It is maful.
So iqtaraba yaqtaribu uqturiba uzdujira.
Uzdujira. It is majhul.
فعل ماضي مجهول. Okay.
uzdujira.
So obviously this wow is ataf. So
it should be hal of this. Can be hal also, sister.
Hal of majnoon.
Dala gaya.
We'll see how
majnoon.
It comes. So majnoon is not proper. It's common. When you have common, we don't call it hal. We call it something else. Yes.
It should be sifa
but you have a waw harf ataf. And we know you can't have waw harf ataf. I can't say that this is the sif and there's a waw harf ataf. If it was without the harf ataf, then maybe we can consider it. Yeah?
Okay.
So now this waw harf ataf has to connect to something else. We need to figure out what it is connecting to. Okay?
Okay.
So this is Madi. Of course, majhul.
Majhul.
Okay. I'm just going to write maj there. So now let's figure out this waw harf ataf. We had Madi, 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 Madi. So it's obvious that maybe this Madi is also ma'tuf to qalu. So they said majnoon and they also did this. Was dujr. Yeah, and basically here it means he was possessed by a jinn. Yeah, he was possessed by a jinn. And they pushed him away he was considered pushed away, was dujr. Or you can actually connect these two and say majnoonun was dujr is one thing, and that's what they said. So they called him insane, and they also called him like possessed, like bewitched, somebody who is a mad person. So you can either say that this whole thing is maqul al-qawl together, that's what they said, or you can say they only said majnoon. They only said majnoon, and that's the end of maqul al-qawl. And then this is connected to qalu. The fi'al madi is connected to that madi. So there are two ways of looking at that.
Okay. So in kadhabu and qalu, we have waw zamir as the file, which is the plural version, sister, whom. Whereas in uzdujira, it is only huwa zamir.
But kadhabat, there was here.
Because the hum was plural of it.
Yeah, that doesn't, but here it's majhul, so the dua is not mentioned. We don't know who the dua is. So it can happen
in that way connection. Okay.
Right.
So this cannot be connected to the further fail which is coming? Usdujira, fada, no. Okay.
Yeah, so this is a new sentence right here.
New sentence, yeah.
Or you can say we can also say it's ataf. Like after they called him this, fada'a rabbahu. Then after, he called his master. Is that clear for everybody here? The way we look at wasdujir, the two different ways. I know this is a bit, especially this chunk is a bit difficult because things were brought muqaddam and other things were brought later, and it's not simple like mubtada khabar or fi'l fa'il maf'ul. It's a bit all over the place. Yeah, but that's good for our own practice, I suppose, because we need to grow. Okay, so let's go to the last line.
So fa is harf atf. So the a is fi'l madi.
Yes.
So huwa zamir should be the file in it.
In da'a, yes.
Da. And rabbahu is muzaf له, which is maf'ul bihi for da'a fi'l.
So this is the maf'ul bihi.
So anni, this is the whole jumla ismiya again now. Anna rufa mushabba bil fi'l with ya mutakallim zamir as the ismu anna. And maghlubun is the khabru anna.
Yes. So this is going to be our mubtada. So anna and its ism mubtada, maghlubun khabar.
It's a khabar. So this whole should be mutalik bil fi'l fada. Da'a fi'l.
But this is anni, it's not anna.
Annani. So this is basically it's anna plus
ni.
e. Yeah. So it's anni plus ni. So which means I am.
Indeed,
or that I am. Anni. Right? So that's how we write it. Anni. So that would be our mubtada. Anna and its ism. And then maghlubun is our khabar. Okay. Then fantasir. You can say this fa is just a jumla istinafiya, new sentence.
Okay.
Or even ataf, you can say. Maybe ataf or istinaf. I'm thinking of other ways of looking at this fa. I'm going to ask my teacher, see if that's a possibility. I'm not so sure. So yeah, but for now, let's just look at it as maybe a new sentence, istinaf or ataf. You can just look at that.
So
in
fi'l amr.
Yeah.
Fi'l amr. So anta zamir is the file.
Exactly. So that's pretty much that. Now, I want to point out something you might come across in tafsir, in especially grammar books, regarding this part. If you look at this ayah, probably if you go to Tafsir app and you look at this ayah, it might say a few things that you are not familiar with. And I just want to clarify that for you, so that you don't come back and ask, why does it say this? And it's a simple mubtada khabar, but how does this relate to this? Okay, so we need to figure out, how is it connected, or is it even connected? What do you guys think? Is it connected or not connected? فَدَعَا رَبَّهُ أَنِّي مَغْلُوبٌ فَانْتَصِرْ. Do you think that maybe there's a connection?
No.
No connection. So okay, let's try and translate it.
Look like
what does it look like? Like the dua that he made.
Yes.
It looks like the dua that he made, right? So فَدَعَا رَبَّهُ, he made dua to his Rabb. This is what he said. أَنِّي مَغْلُوبٌ فَانْتَصِرْ. That's kind of like what's happening here. Yeah, so that's kind of the connection. This is the dua that he made. So normally we normally say these things, we call them in quotes. What's protected by the quotes? Because this is what he said. So what's protected by the quotes? We don't really do much i'rab of it. We just leave it. Yeah. Can it be like a maqul al-qawl? I'm not so sure we can describe it as a maqul al-qawl. Maybe, because da'a could also be described as a fi'al qawl, like one of those fi'ils that have the meaning of saying. So you can even say فَدَعَا رَبَّهُ, saying, he called to his master, saying this is what he said. So that's the connection. Okay, but now if you have this connection, da'a, I'll give you a sentence. So da'a Allah بالاستغفار. Okay, da'a Allah بالاستغفار. This is the proper way of saying when you're using the word da'a. Okay, maybe let me take a step back. Remember when we were talking about muta'addi, lazim, and we said, there are certain fi'als that are lazim, they don't take a maf'ul bihi. There are certain fi'als that are muta'addi, they take a maf'ul bihi. And there are certain fi'als that are muta'addi li maf'ulain, they take two maf'ul bihis. There are certain fi'ls that take 3 maf'ul bihis and so on and so forth. There are certain fi'ls that take 2 maf'ul bihis, and one of those maf'ul bihis is going to be muta'addi bi harf. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. There are certain fi'ls that take 2 maf'ul bihis, and one of those maf'ul bihis is going to be muta'addi bi harf. So one of them is going to be a direct maf'ul bihi. One of them is going to have a harf jar. Okay, and one of those fi'ls is actually da'a. Da'a is one of those fi'ls that take a direct maf'ul bihi and a maf'ul bihi that's muta'addi bi harf, that has a harf jar. Is that clear so far?
Yeah.
So we expected, so for example, if I say da'a Allah bil istighfar, he made dua to Allah asking for istighfar. This is what this sentence means. He asked Allah for istighfar. What did he ask for? Istighfar. Okay, and who did he ask? Allah. So it has, this answers the question who, and this answers the question what. So those are the 2 maf'ul bihis of da'a. But when you look at this sentence, you have da'a, which is the fi'l. So we expect 2 maf'ul bihis. One has a harf jar, one is direct. You have the first one, rabbahu, is direct, has a fatha on it. So maf'ul bihi direct, no problem. But then the second one is an entire sentence, no harf jar. What's happening here? Okay, so what the grammarians have done is that they've said that this was actually supposed to be anni. It was supposed to be
anni.
It was supposed to be anni. فدعا ربه بأني مغلوب فانتصر. So there was a harf jar here that was omitted. Now when this happens, so if you have a harf jar, what does that mean? It means that this whole thing is fi mahalli jar, right? That's what it's supposed to be. But if in a case like this, you remove the ba, like here, if I say da'allaha al-istighfar, if I remove the ba, what is going to happen is I'm going to put a fatha on it. Which is basically what you do with a maf'ul, right? But because I know this da'a comes with ba, I will not say that this is maf'ul bihi. I would actually say that this is mansub ala naz'il khafid. I know that's probably a new term I'm introducing. I just want to explain, if you come across this term, if you're reading tafsir and you come across mansub ala naz'il khafid, you just know basically what they mean. Don't be like, what is going on? Just know that it's the second maf'ul bihi, basically. That's the simplified version of it. There was a harf jar that was removed, and now because instead of being majroor, it is mansub. That's what it means. Okay, so if you are looking at this ayah and you see mansub ala naz'il khafid and so on and so forth, just remember that there was a harf jar there that was removed. That's what it means. And as a result of removing that harf jar, it became mansub. That's all. Okay. That's just for your own benefit, I suppose.
So I think so we can remember, like this is mutaddi bil harf. Da'a fail, it is mutaddi bil harf. One is the direct maf'ul, the other will be a maf'ul with harf jar, which has been removed.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So you have a couple of fi'ls that are like that. Like one fi'l is direct, the other one is, it has harf jar. Yeah, and it happens also in the Quran quite a bit. There's an ayah. I'm forgetting the ayah. It was addressed to Musa. Musa was being told to take from his qawmahu, and it was qawmahu, not min qawmihi. So it was something like that. You can check it out later, inshallah. Something like that. Yeah, but this is the simplified version of it. So you have mubtada, you have khabar, simplified version of it. And that's the connection. This is connected to da'a because this is basically the second maf'ul bihi of da'a. Okay, so far so good. Any other questions? Does it have implication in translation when ba is omitted? I would imagine yes. I would imagine. I am again, like I said, this surah is just, it's unwinding my, subhanallah, like I feel like I bit more than I could chew here with this surah, because I have more questions about this surah than I have answers. And that's one of the questions that I also have. And I can't ask my teacher because he's not available right now. But I hope to get those answers. If I don't get those answers, we'll just keep on looking, I suppose. But yeah, I imagine that there has to be a difference. I imagine so. Especially because it's the Quran. When Allah mentions something, there's a meaning to it. When He omits something, there's a meaning to it. So I'm imagining there has to be a meaning. I don't know what it is though. Yeah, inshallah. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, because of time, we're going to do a couple. Maybe we can pick the difficult ones. We do the difficult ones. And then the rest, maybe you can try and do it on your own, or you can even post it in the group and we can go through them and see if we figured it out. I might not do the Sarf Kabir, or we can do all of it and not do the Sarf Kabir. We skip the Sarf Kabir just to save some time. Okay. So let's see what we can be able to do on the Sarf. All right. So Tawalla, what do you think?
Waw lam ya, the jidr.
Lam ya. Bab.
Family 5.
Family 5.
So Sira, this is Mad. This is Amr. Anta Zamir is a file.
This is Amr.
Sarf Saghir is Tawalla. 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 Tawallu.
Yeah, that would be the Sarf Kabir. So Tawalla, Yatawalla.
Tawalla,
Tawalliyan.
Mutawallin.
Yeah, so
Tawallin.
here, I'm just going to point out, this here on the masdar. So the masdar, remember when it's rafa and jar, it's going to be tawallin. But when it's nasab, it's going to be tawalliyan. The ya comes back when it's nasab. Okay, so this is the rafa and jar form. So that's very important. I'm only writing this because it's naqis and it's challenging. So tawalla, yatawalla, tawallin, or tawalliyan, both are correct, depending on which status it is. فهو متولٍ. Actually, I can just, instead of writing down, I think I can just read them, and then you can pause them in the video if you want to get details. I think that will be quicker. All right. And of course, this means turn away from me.
Turn your face.
Say turn away or turn your face, that's fine.
Dal, ain, waw.
Dal, ain, waw. Da.
From one, family one. Da'a yada'u, ba masara.
So this is mudara.
Mudare. So which is marfu itself. Okay. Da'a yada'u. Du'aan. Du'aan.
I'll take it. Okay.
To call upon. To call.
Yeah.
He called upon.
So du'a, da'wa, or all those are different masadir of that. Then we have
to call, right? He was calling.
Yeah.
He was calling?
Yeah. Or he called.
He calls. Yeah. Kharaja.
Yeah.
Kharaja. So this is again from family one. No, sorry. Kharaja yakhruju. This is from mudare. Mudare.
Yes.
Kharaja yakhruju khurujan.
Kharaja
yakhruju
khurujan.
Khurujan.
فهو مخرج. Okay. فهو خارج. Sorry. مخرج. خارج.
خارج निकालना निकलेंगे. That is they'll come out.
Yes. They come out.
They come out.
Or they exit. So possible. منتشر.
So noon she ra.
Yes.
منتشر. So 8, family 8.
Yes. اقترب يقترب.
اقتربوا. انتشر, and this is اسم الفاعل. انتشر ينتشر انتشارا.
انتشار.
فهو منتشر.
Yes, and this is the word. We can just add it because we're already there. منتشر. And it means
to
spread out.
To spread out.
Yeah.
So this is ha ta ain. Ha ta ain. So from family 4.
Yes.
Ahta'a yuhtiyu. Ismul file, yeah. Ahta'a. Ahta'a yuhtiyu. Ihta'an. فهو مهطئ.
Yes. And this is the one, مهطئ. Let me put a kasra there, just.
One who runs or people who run.
Yeah. So rushing, running. It literally means to stick your neck out. That's the literal meaning. Like you're trying to look, you're trying to see what's coming. But it has the meaning. So in that sense, it was used for someone who is hurrying to do something. So rushing, running, that's fine. مجنون.
So this should be jana jim nun.
Yes.
So this is from family 1.
Yeah.
Family 1. This should be ismul maf'ul, sister.
Yes, this is ism maf'ul. I'm trying to remember if
Maf'ul.
janna yajinnu or janna yajannu. Or janna yajunnu. I don't know.
Majnun, Nasara.
I have forgotten which. Let me just check that real quickly. I forgot if it's family Nasara. Which bab is it? Does anybody know which bab it is? Jannah. So Jannah, Yajinnu, Jannah, Yajinnu. So you have two kinds, yeah. Whenever there are two varieties, I get confused like this. Because you have Jannah, Yajinnu, and then you have Jannah, Yajunnu. So both exist.
From Nasara, sister.
From Nasara and Sami'a.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do Nasara. We'll do Nasara. But just know that, not Sami'a, Daraba. So Daraba and Nasara. But we'll do Nasara.
Nasara.
Sorry.
Because Sifa comes in that, sister. In that way, I think so we can say.
Sifa?
Janana yajnunu. So Janna yajunnu.
Yeah, Yajunnu, Yajinnu. Both fine. Because again, probably
Jannan.
depends on the dialect.
Jannan. Jannan.
Yeah, so here you have probably several masadar, because this kind of has the meaning of, what is the masdar? I'm not so sure.
Jannan. To cover up. Dhamplena.
Okay. I'm not, yeah, okay, so we can, Jannan. Okay, I'm gonna point out something else. Aside from being from family 1, Nasara, and also maybe Daraba.
Okay.
It could also be from family 4.
Ajnana yujninu. Ijnana.
Yes.
Fahuwa majnunu.
And this majnoon, like, Ajanna, Yujinnu in family 4, to make someone go crazy. To make someone. So majnoonun is the one who has been made crazy, or is the one who has been made possessed. Because they would use this word jinn. That's why you get the word jinn, by the way. Because to be possessed by a jinn, or to conceal, or to cover up, all these are the meanings of from these 3 root letters. So you would find, if you look at this word, sometimes you would find that the majnoon comes from family 4, and this is not your normal way of saying because we know it's أجن يجن إجنانا فهو مجن. مجن, that is the اسم فاعل, and then مجنن the اسم مفعول. So it was supposed to be مجنن or مجنن, but then here you have مجنون, which is different. So this is, they call it غير قياس. It's not following the patterns that have been listed. But that's just a by the way. Just go stick with what you know, family one. Janna yajinnu or Janna yajunnu. Okay.
It is only for the mutadi thing we are taking it to family 4, sister.
Yes.
Lazim fail from 1 just to make it mutadi, to make one majnoon, we are taking it to family 4.
Family 4, exactly.
Okay.
And it means insane or mad or crazy. Yeah. Then we have
Jim Ra.
Yeah, and we actually looked at this word muzdajir. Remember, it came again. I told you it's coming again. So we already did it, but we're just going to do it again because it's a difficult word. Yes. Family 8.
Family 8.
This is Mavi. Majhul.
Is dajara? Yes, dajiru. This mazi. Yeah. Mazi majhul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is dajara?
Is dajara? Majhul, sister.
Majhul.
Wow.
Majhul. Okay.
Majhul. Is dajara? Yes, dajiru. Is dijaran.
And of course, that's the word is dajara.
Muzdajirun, which is
yes. Muzdajirun, which came before. So was dujir? So is dajara?
Dhamkana. That is to
scare
or to like dhamki dena we say, no? It isn't that. Not to scold or comes in that.
Yeah, to threaten or to kick, expel, repel. Yes. So was dujir? He was repelled. He was kicked away. He was, maybe kicked, not the best way, but expelled maybe.
Expelled or repelled, yeah.
Threatened. Yeah. And other words you can find. All right.
Ghain lam ba. Ghalaba. Family 1. So this is maful.
Yes.
Ismul maful. So nasara ghalaba yaghlubu. Ghuluban.
Ghalaba yaghlibu. Again, this is one of those words.
Nasara, na? Nasara.
Yeah, it's both. Again, you see. Yeah, okay. Whenever these words like nasara, and so it's both nasara and daraba. So it could be ghalaba yaghlibu or ghalaba yaghlubu.
Yaghlubu. Okay.
Ghalabatan, we can say. Or ghalab is also masdar.
Okay.
Or ghalabatan or ghalb. Some of the masdars. Okay. And it means
overpowered.
Yes. Maghlubun, overpowered, overcome, overwhelmed. So all this can work. Overwhelmed. Right? Then we have intasara.
Intasara. Nun swadra. Nasara.
Yeah. So this
family
is
8 again.
Yeah, family 8.
So this is Amar. So intasara, yantasiru, intisaran. Fahuwa muntasirun.
Yes. Intisar.
Intisaran. Muntasirun. Okay.
And it means?
Badlale. That is to...
it means to avenge or to seek revenge. Help is unsur. Unsur, help. But intasara is exaggerated. Remember we talked about if you add more letters, إذا زاد حرفا زاد المعنى. When you increase a letter, the meaning increases. So nasara, to help or to aid. But intasara, like seek revenge or avenge me or come into my aid, like it's more emphasized. Right?
Intense of asking, sister.
Yes, it's an intense form. And it could also mean intisar, basically means revenge, like intiqam. Okay. Any questions on those? You can try and do the Sarf Kabir, and if you have any questions, the Sarf Kabir, you can just let me know in the group, and then we can figure it out if there's something that you're finding it difficult. Although, you know, there's so many apps that you can check the Sarf Kabir of all these words, so that's also possible. Any other questions on anything really? About the whole discussion? I know it's a bit tougher, but I hope you're getting something. I hope it's not all just going to waste. I'd hate for it to do that.
No, this was a good revision. Like khusha and absarahum, sister. It was like
a
clarity, considering whether yeah.
And you see now why Allah is stressing this part. Like he could have said يخرجون من الأجداث خشعا أبصارهم. Like this could come all the way this side. But the way Allah is speaking, there's a purpose to it. There's a reason for everything. And we have to ask ourselves, why is it muqaddam like this? What's the meaning? Yeah, beautiful. Alhamdulillah. Okay, I don't know if there's nothing else. Next week is going to be Eid. I normally don't like to miss this class because it's a Quran class and we have to discuss about the Quran. But because it's happening on the day of Eid, so I will postpone this class for the next, or my classes for next weekend because of Eid. And then we'll meet the week after that, inshallah. Yeah, so just a disclaimer, next week we won't have a class, inshallah. All right, we can end there. So سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاك الله خيرا كثيرا.
عيد مبارك in advance.
مبارك.
وإياك. عيد مبارك to you too. I'm so confused. I didn't expect that. Yeah, thank you. Eid Mubarak to you guys as well. Yeah, we won't meet for Eid. Yeah, Eid Mubarak.
I was saying girlies in the group, sister.
Yeah, no guys. Oh, sorry. My bad. But there are guys here, so it's fine.
Yeah. No. I was just saying about that. There, I think so. Everyone were there pulling the legs. No, we are guys. We are girlies.
Okay, so Monica, I'll see you for my next class or the other week, inshallah.